What's going on, everybody? Simple back at it like I'm checking my height. Today we're checking out American things Europeans find weird. If you guys enjoy this, make sure you head on over to the Content Creators channel and show them some support over there. If you guys want to get your requests up here, Google Forms down in the description below. And definitely make sure you check out the Creator Consortium link. If you guys aren't in there, I'm telling you, you're missing out. All right, let's go.
If you've ever seen Quentin
American
Tarantino's
things
hit movie
Europeans
Pulp
find
Fiction,
weird.
you'll know it opens with a scene in which Samuel Jackson shows his surprise regarding the legality of cannabis smoking in Holland and the fact that the French eat their fries with mayonnaise. Ugh is his reaction to the use of such a condiment. Well, we can tell you ugh works both
Fries
ways,
with mayo.
and there are plenty of things Americans
Have you ever had fries with mayo and ketchup? I'm saying you take mayo and ketchup and mix them together. It's been so long since I've had that. That's what my dad used to do. I don't know. I always thought it was very strange, though.
eat, do, believe, and say that Europeans find plain weird. Today, we'll look at some of those things. In this episode of the Infographic Show, American Things Europeans Find Weird. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. We'll stay with food and restaurants for the time being. As we've discussed in other shows, not everyone in the world is so draconian about tipping. In fact, in some parts of Europe, throwing a buck on the counter after receiving a cold beer would be totally insulting. In many European countries, tipping
Why?
in some situations can be seen as charity. When visiting the US, many Europeans might find it weird that a waiter or waitress keeps coming back to your table. In the States, it may be seen as just good service, but to some Europeans, it could be construed as someone getting in the way of a good meal.
Well, damn. I mean, it does definitely get annoying here for sure. But I think they have to work harder because a lot of people won't tip unless the waiter or waitress is attentive. That's the thing. Because most of the time, like if you need something or want to ask a question or anything like that, like want a refill on a drink or something, it's kind of hard to find them. So, like the ones that do stay attentive and make sure that you need stuff are normally the ones that I find that get tipped more often. I try to leave a tip every single time. But that's just me. A lot of people choose not to tip. Some people, they're pretty particular about how much they tip depending on how good of service. I don't know. It's crazier though.
That meal, by the way, could be about 3 times larger than many people in Europe are used to. In general, American food portions look to some Europeans like they're supposed to feed 2 people. It may also seem like an act of largesse to some Europeans when someone keeps refilling.
Don't even mess with it. As soon as they went to like portion size, no. I'm telling you right now, portion sizes, no. No. We don't need portion sizes. I'm 6'5". I'm 230 pounds. I don't need no portion size. I'll eat 2 meals. Like,
Their glass of soda
saying.
or cup of coffee for no
saying.
extra cost. In terms of the food itself, as we noted earlier, Americans and Europeans have very different ideas about what goes with what. Pancakes for breakfast with fried chicken? Are you kidding me? Says the traveling European. And what about putting honey on bacon for breakfast? The Frenchman wanted mustard with his sliced beef and tasted something not like mustard, but a sweeter version with less bite. The Italian went to Chicago and
That's what I've heard. Mustard over there is definitely a lot different than it is here. America has a lot of sugar in everything. I mean, even in bread, like things that you wouldn't even think that there'd be more sugar in. We definitely have more sugar and stuff.
one restaurant ordered a pizza, only to be served what he thought looked more like a quiche or a cake. So, what about when Europeans head to the store? Again, the rather affable smile and general friendliness of staff may seem strange to someone from grumpy England, where service with a smile is certainly no guarantee. In fact, it's been remarked that American friendliness
trying
can
to
result
cheat
in
me?
some Europeans thinking something suspicious is afoot.
Nothing suspicious is afoot. We smile to be friendly because that's what we do. There is nothing suspicious going on here. I'm telling you right now. If they work behind the counter or something like that, like that's kind of policy. You have to smile, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like a lot of people don't smile, but service with a smile is always nice.
If that European is in the store to buy a pack of cigarettes or a
It's not
bottle
really,
of
like,
wine, they
written
may be
policy,
extremely
it's like the
surprised when they
unsaid
get asked for
policy.
ID, as that might not have happened to them for over a decade or two. On top of Europe mainly
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that part.
European is in the store to buy a pack of cigarettes or a bottle of wine, they may be extremely surprised when they get asked for ID, as that might not have
Yeah.
happened to them for over a decade or two. On top of Europe mainly having laxer laws on age restrictions,
Well, not only that, but if dude walks in looking like he's over the age of 21, like, I doubt he's trying very hard to be over the age of 21. I mean, maybe people here are crazy to that point just to get liquor, and that's probably because of the restrictions and all those things. But I mean, come on.
IDing people is not such a big deal
Up
as it
to
is in
40, I
America.
could see.
Only in July this year, Oasis frontman Liam Gallagher said he was ID'd in the US after trying to buy cigarettes. He tweeted, "I've just been told I can't buy cigs unless I got ID. I'm 40 freaking 4. Has the world gone mad?" Indeed, in his home city of Manchester, he'd probably been buying his smokes for 30 years without a problem. And then the European looks inside his or her wallet, only to see a bunch of notes that all look the same, all the time wondering how this could possibly make any sense. The good thing is, in America, you can pay with plastic just about anywhere, which is something many Europeans are still not used to. They may also be unpleasantly surprised to find out when they do buy something, taxes get added on top of the price they saw. So they try and get back to their hotel, but have to ask the way. They are told to walk 6 blocks this way and turn left. Only for some Europeans not familiar with the US, giving someone directions using blocks may seem weird.
It's blocks, like between streets. 1 street, 2 street. It's blocks, man.
Parts of Europe were not built
main
with city blocks in
streets,
mind
like-
and just gradually spread in a way that makes it hard to find your way around.
It
When they
definitely does,
finally
though.
do get back, they settle down to watch some TV, only for some reason the shows are interspersed with commercials that seem to be longer than the actual minutes given to the actual content. This drives some Europeans crazy. At some point, they might come across World Wrestling Entertainment and be quite confused at how some Americans can get so worked up about what to them looks like an act with an ending already scripted. You
It
may
is.
have to be
It definitely is an act already scripted, guaranteed. You guys don't have wrestling over in Europe? How do I find that? I mean, maybe it's more like sport wrestling, like Olympic style wrestling, I guess. Not so much like just it's like a drama TV show, I guess. It's like what MTV turned into.
An American to enjoy that kind of drama with such passion. Turn over to the news, and depending on the channel, this may also look something like a drama or a soap opera to a European. They may easily believe they are watching a news satire. One of the great things in America, though, for some Europeans at least, is the fact that some things are open 24/7. Can't sleep? Just go out. Shopping hours are relatively quite restrictive in many European nations.
Which Walmart stopped me in 24 hours. That kind of sucks, because that's like one of the big stores that was 24 hours around us. Most of the other ones aren't.
But in most places in the US or
in
near a
my
big
area.
city, there is always something to do or buy in the middle of the night.
I think
in
the
Europe,
only thing around here that is actually 24 hours in my town, like he's talking about like big cities. So if you're traveling to the big cities, then sure, you're going to find some 24-hour places. But like where I am, no. McDonald's. That's the only 24-hour spot around me.
In most places in the US or near a big city, there is
Gas
always
station
something to
pumps
do
stay
or buy
open,
in the
though.
middle of the night. In Europe, the BBC
Because
reported that
we
London,
pay our card.
England, and 6 cities in Spain were the better 24-hour cities. Now we'll visit the sensitive issues of religion and patriotism. World Atlas
here we
puts
go.
America at the top of the list as the most Christian nation in the world. In the US, on any given day,
don't
you
know,
might
not
hear the
Christian.
word God or at least see signs pointing to where you might find him. While parts of Europe are also predominantly Christian,
People
the
definitely-
omnipresence
there's a lot
of
of
God in the
churches
streets
everywhere.
may seem a little overbearing to many of these nations that have foregone church duty. It's the same with flags everywhere. You won't go far in America without seeing the stars and stripes, whereas in Europe, flags are usually designated to the top of poles outside of official buildings. Seeing one planted in a garden may induce a traveling European to believe that he is at the house of a hardcore nationalist, not just someone who is proud of where he comes from. Interesting side note, a 2014 survey revealed the most patriotic country in the world was Thailand, closely followed by the USA. While it may not seem too weird for Europeans, the fact that some people in the
have a
States
gun
carry
for my
firearms might be
personality.
scary. Per
Personality
capita, more
perfectly.
people in the States own guns than any other country. While most cops in Europe do carry guns, it's unusual to see a cop in England, Scotland, or Wales carrying a gun. The fact that regular
Which
Joes
we
might
definitely
be
find
carrying a
strange.
firearm seems fairly weird to many Europeans. It might not seem so strange to Serbians, who also have a high rate of guns owned per person. Size also matters to Europeans when traveling in the States. In America, everything just seems bigger, and not just the aforementioned dishes. The roads and streets seem larger for the most part, and if you don't have a car, it can seem hard to get anywhere, especially in a place like LA.
It's LA. At least LA has stores. Do you know how far I have to walk if I want to get to like we have a gas station at the bottom of the hill, but it's a pretty small one. We have a little country store in the front of the main street. It's pretty small. I have to walk like at least 10 miles to get to the closest store. The closest city is like a 25-minute drive. So it is definitely very, very hard to get anywhere around me, honestly. LA though. Like LA, at least you can walk around. Probably shouldn't though.
The cars themselves seem a lot bigger, large enough to crush Mr. Bean in his Mini, and the people inside them also seem big on average, if not taller, then wider on average.
That is very
the
true.
skyscrapers are taller, and in
6'5".
general, American houses statistically have a lot more space than the average European house. One survey stated that the Danish had the most living space in Europe, still much less than Americans, but much more than the Brits, that to Americans might seem their whole house is smaller than their basement. It may not be that weird, but one might ask why everything is so big in the US. As for appearance, some Europeans may find the amount of Americans that are continually decked in what looks like gym wear a bit strange, as most are not going to the gym.
That is very true, and also I agree that it's very strange. I'm not sure why so many people wear gym clothes, honestly. I mean, unless you consider like sweatpants. Like I don't wear jeans, so maybe I don't know. I don't wear like running pants or things like that though.
Other styles that are mostly an 80s thing but seem to have stayed around a little are the big hairstyles on some older American women. Big lips and big breasts may also be a fashion weird to some Europeans, while in the USA the president still seems to sport a fake tan. On the positive side, Americans all seem to have such perfect white teeth, quite different from those Brits. This was hilariously depicted in an episode of The Simpsons in which the Big Book of British Smiles horrifically demonstrated the apparent lack of dental hygiene in the country. What do you Europeans out there find strange about Americans? And Americans, what do you think is weird about Europeans? Let us know in the comments. See you next time.
Alright, so definitely let me know what you think about what is weird about Americans, for sure. Hit me in the comments, let me know. Unleash it. Let's go. If you guys enjoyed this, though, make sure you hit me with a thumbs up. And if you didn't, it's all love. I appreciate you guys for stopping by anyway. Make sure you smash the crap out of that thumbs down button. Check out one of the other couple videos that are floating around, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.